All right. So, hello, welcome to Grandma's Hands Apothecary Podcast. And we have one of my friends who is a really dope healer and so many other things. But today we have Tiana Taylor, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about her before she tells more about her. And so I'm going to just share a bio with you. Tiana Taylor is a healer who nurtures herself, her family, and her community with her hands and her heart. Blending tradition, love, and intuition, she is deeply rooted in learning and loving herbalism and plant medicine and everyday rituals that bring us home to ourselves. Whether she's tending to her herbs, diving in Black romance novels, or catching flights to feed her soul, Tiana moves through the world chasing peace, pleasure, and connection and guiding others to do the same. So, I would like to introduce to you Tiana Taylor.
Hello, hello.
Hey,
Hey,
thank you
hey,
so much
hey.
for coming and taking the time to be with me.
Yes, I'm excited. I really am. I really am
Hey.
excited to be here, excited to chat with you.
Hey, so like, can you tell us? I know we just read off, a dynamic bio, but can you tell us just a little bit about your work, yourself, and like, just your relationship with the work that you do, which is, healing and things like that. So like, if you want to give more context.
yeah. Um, I really do feel like, yes, like this is a work that I do and things like that, but I really am just a healer. Like it doesn't matter if I am seriously getting paid for it or not. It doesn't matter almost if I'm trying or not sometimes. So I think it's just a part of who I am and what I get to do and be like while I'm here, if that makes sense. um,
Mm.
but it is like it's such a developing thing. Like I can't stress that enough. Even the older I get, the more I look back and go, whoa, like you really thought this and now you know this. Like, wow, you know? Or now you really see and understand literally how some plants, herbs work or why they work, or like, oh yeah, this is why even this is why this medicine works a certain kind of way, like a Western medicine or something like that. It's always something new. It's always something I'm like, oh wow. Like it's always something. So it's just like that's why I love how that bio says that too. And like I love like not just herbalism just because, but like I love learning it because it is always something to learn, you know?
Yes. So can you tell us a little bit about like your journey and just how you got to seeking out like herbalism, alternative ways of healing yourself, first and foremost, and then while like getting or like progressing into like helping guide people through their own healing. What led you to seeking out this type of way of life?
Yeah,
Always
yeah.
been a
So
way of life for you.
yeah, it's I don't think it has I don't think it has always been a way of life for me. I can definitely think of the time in my life where the shift happened, if that makes sense. But I do think though, and I mean we've talked about this before. Some things, yes, have been happening like my whole life, or when I can look back and think of like, oh, that is why I was like that as a child or whatever. But when I mean like it when I became aware of it, it really did become a way of life. Wasn't until much later in my life, really. And I'll tell you how it started. Honestly, a friend of mine took me to um some sort of like wellness thing. Like I don't even remember exactly what it was for. It was like a women's wellness event. She was selling essential oils, it was a whole thing. And I went and I heard a bunch of people give a bunch of talks about different holistic things, like um and one of the ladies really stood out to me, and she talked about not wearing deodorant or aluminum deodorant and not wearing a bra. And like I'm 100% a free the nip. I like don't even own real bras for real, because like who I just am not a fan. Like I'm not a fan in real life, in every setting, professional, casual, not like I'm not wearing a bra. Okay.
Period.
Like like I'm just not, and everybody know it at this point too, like whatever. So she really had me like, I knew it was the reason why I don't want to wear this bra, and which it is. And so I remember this being like, oh, I never heard that about deodorant before, interesting. Like it piqued my interest a little bit. And then I started having some like issues with my menstrual cycle, and went to the doctor. Actually, I didn't even know they were issues. I went to a doctor for like a physical, and we were talking about menstrual cycles, and I'm answering the question about mine. And the OB is like, what? This what? You bleed this much? That's not normal. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. And so then I became aware that my periods were not regular. And so I started birth control to make them regular, because that's what my doctor said. Me and birth control did not agree. Many different kinds, many different forms. It wasn't working for me. Like it wasn't working for my hormones, it wasn't working for my mental. I was losing my hair. I did not feel like myself, and I was just like, I got to get off this birth control, but also my periods are not normal either. Something got to give. And I kid you not, I just had a moment of that one lady, she had a card that she gave me, and she had a whole list of services. And so I'm gonna call her and see if she can help me, because my doctors are not listening to me, and I cannot do this birth control. It is making me insane. And so I called this. I literally did. I went through my wallet, found that little card I got from this lady who actually was a naturopathic doctor, and started working with her. And I straight up called her like, my periods are all over the place, and my doctor said I need to be on birth control, but birth control is making me crazy. I don't want to be on birth control. Can you help me with my period? And she was like, yes. And I had no idea what a naturopathic doctor was. I had no idea about herbal remedies. I had no idea about like homeopathy. None of that was on my radar. It was just like I was in a desperate place trying to figure out a solution to a problem, and wasn't liking what the doctor was saying. And so I made an appointment with this Dr. Lindsay is her name. And she literally changed my life. And she was kind of like, she didn't even like drop me into herbalism, but she dropped me into, there is a different way of life than what the Western world has given us. There is a different kind of medicine. Some of the issues that you are having, the experiences that you're having in your bodies, the ailments that you're having, one, they not all as random as they seem. Okay, that's for one. Two, your lifestyle could be a contributor. So no matter what birth control, no matter what medicine you get on, you're gonna have these problems. So that was my first, like, sorry, this is kind of like a long answer, but it really is.
No, this is exactly
This
like
was my journey.
yes.
This was my journey. So she literally had where I was working at a job when I met her that was literally making me sick. Like I I don't know how to describe it. Like you had to be there, you had to see it, but it was true. And it was like I was having these headaches, I couldn't sleep. I was literally sick, throwing up, runny nose, stuffy nose, coughing, like literally sick. And I remember her asking me questions like, okay, what kind of do you feel like this at work? Do you feel like you can't speak up at work? Do you feel like you're not being heard at work? Do you feel like she was asking these
Mm.
questions and I was kind of like, well, yeah,
Mm.
well, yeah, yeah. Like I'm just like hitting her with the yeah. And I at the time was literally like the only black female, like it was a double whammy. I was the only black person on this staff and like one of two females staff members, like and the other, like it was just it was bad. It was bad. It was literally making me sick. It was literally making me sick.
Mm.
And had it not been for like me going to see a naturopathic doctor, I probably would have stayed working there much longer
Mm.
than what I did. And immediately, I'm talking about immediately feeling better, immediately getting better,
Mm.
right? And so now I'm like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Now I'm looking at like there's just a whole new way of life. And this me stopping this, stop this issue. What else? What else could be causing some of these problems? What else? And so um like my time with meeting with Dr. Lindsay and things like that really just opened me up to like what else? Like what else could there be? What is this? She gave me something called Platina to work with something and it really worked. Like what was this? It really worked, or it really matters what I eat. Like sure we all know this, and I don't even just mean like, oh, I'm not eating no, we just having this conversation, I'm not eating all this sugar. Like no, like literally the food you actually put in your body can affect what it do. And
Mhm.
I don't just mean that in a negative way.
Yes.
Like it's also on
Yes.
the like it's also a positive thing. It is also something that is a proactive thing. Like yes, like so I was just learning that kind of stuff. And then that is what made me start like trying it. Like I was very inquisitive, like, and trying to heal myself, like, was trying to make myself feel better. Um, that was the core of it. Like, I was trying to heal myself because I was asking the wrong people to help me, because they were trying to help me in the way that they knew how, right? And I had to really learn to say that because I still sometimes be like, nobody really wasn't even listening to me. They really wasn't. But also some of them was, and then they were still helping me the best way they knew how. So, of course you are telling me to take this medicine because this is the medicine you study. And this is the medicine, and this medicine is supposed to do this. And guess what? This person knows this medicine and this she told me to, and this medicine working for me and I like it. So that's kind of how I got on to that's kind of how I got into like this work. And because I experienced it myself first and it literally changed my life. It is like, yes, I'm here to help other people do the same thing because I'm not kidding when I say it changed my life. It changed the way I lived my life. It changed what I ate. It changed what I drank. Like, and I don't mean that in some super like restrictive dieting, just like in the kinds of foods I eat, when I eat it, how I eat it, it changed it. And again, like I'm saying, not just in a negative way, it changed it because how I was eating was so bad or wrong. No, it changed it in a way that I'm also using these same foods, these same herbs that I was just consuming for like the satisfaction of and maybe some of the nutrients, but no, now I'm really enjoying and consuming this, knowing exactly how this is nurturing my body.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for that context and just like also, highlighting that like it does matter like, how and when and what we put into our bodies like because it's not just like what and it doesn't and everyone is different, right? Like
Right,
we all
exactly.
have a different way of like we all our bodies, do different things and so um I think it's good to also understand that like, you know, yes, there is like this detox process and also that it also not only has to do with just food. Like sometimes it means quitting that job. Like sometimes it means, getting out of a toxic relationship. Like sometimes it just means like detoxing from everything around us that may be making us sick and so it's very holistic. It yes, food is a sector of
Part
the
of it.
part of it. It's a huge part of it, but it's not all of it, right? Like it's also like what we think, how we think in our minds and like if we are you know I always say like decolonize your mind and then your plate will follow. Like if we are decolonizing our minds, meaning that like if we are understanding um yeah, like food differently, if we're understanding that we have the birth it is our birthright to be able to sense, to be able to feel good. And that we don't have to be in pain or in suffering, and that we don't have to deal with a irregular period, menstrual cycle. Like we can actually, you know, be have autonomy over our bodies. Like I feel like then we will be able to once we give ourselves that permission, we'll be able to change the way we, live life holistically.
Yeah.
Um and so like where like how do you feel like now that you've landed in this space of like living this life of a more holistic idea and like this this the detoxing and all of that has happened like do you feel like there are ways that things that you already knew that maybe you're just remembering or like perhaps I think about some of just some of the things that were passed down by my mother, my grandmother, like just ways of like, like cooking and things like that. Or just like ways that would uh we would have our food and things like that. Do you feel like there are any lessons or, wisdoms that have been passed down to you that you are now remembering after like kind of decolonizing and cleansing and detoxing, I guess, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind, the easiest thing, and it's not even as like, it's so simple, I should say. It's so simple. When I tell you my grandmother is a hold on 1 minute, I'm gonna have my cup of tea kind of lady before I do anything, or
Mhm.
I can't think straight. Hold on, I need to have a cup of tea. I can't think straight. Or you know what? I'm gonna figure it out after I have a cup of tea. Like my granny is like, oh, if y'all just knew this woman, like she she don't play about having her a cup of tea, and I've gotten there, right? And I'm like, when I would make up some like ashwagandha tea, for example, let's go very basic, like it's relaxing, right? And me knowing that and my granny drinking her black tea or whatever it is, like it's the intention is the same. It's the same behind it. Because yes, this cup of tea is about to slow me down. And I'm about to drink these herbs. I'm getting ready to drink these plants that I made something with. And this is gonna affect me, right? This is I'm gonna make some chamomile lavender tea because I need to take a moment. I need a moment. I need to chill. I need to relax. Like, oh, you know, or vice like you think name anytime I make a different type of tea blend, it's like yeah, it's always a purpose behind it, right? Like oh because I need some energy, oh because I need to help unwind it. It's like it's the same thing. I'm doing the same thing that my granny was doing when she would be like, hold on, I need a cup of tea, hold on, let me make, I'll take care of that after I finish my tea,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Oh, my whole day is off because I didn't have my cup of tea before I got started. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the literally doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like and like this is my grandmother, right? Like her body is my body is doing the same thing her body is doing. It's a little different because I'm a different generation, literally, right? But the intention is the same,
Right.
right? The lesson got passed on the same.
Yeah.
What can I say? This tea? It's
Yeah.
as simple as that.
That's beautiful. And just like the idea of like it's kind of like a reminder to just pause and like it's also a way of like setting a boundary with whatever it
Yeah.
is that you might be doing that just like is, keeps you going. It's like it gives you kind of like something to just like yeah, it's just like a reminder of like, okay, I haven't had my cup of tea, like let me do that and then, I'm gonna get to these other
Yeah.
things. And yeah, it kind of like it's almost like a yeah, like something to hold us accountable of really like just stopping and being present and not really worrying about all this stuff that we got going on, these deadlines and all the things, but just like, you know, a cup of tea just being that reminder of like, okay, this is a way that I can like slow down and just be for a second, no matter what else is going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like so I heard you talk about, some herbs that you threw out. So like I always, like to refer to our at home apothecaries. We talk about apothecaries in this Western way or just like, all the mason jars and the on the shelves and labels and things like that, but I feel like a lot of our you know parents, grandparents, aunties, we all had a lot of medicinal herbs in our own cabinets at home, and like whether it be cinnamon is a very powerful spice that is very healing. It has so much nutrients in it. All of these, even like salt, which is very demonized or colonized, is very medicinal as well. And
Yeah.
so like I don't know, I'm just curious like what are some like
Oh, and you know I got a home apothecary. Like
yeah.
you already know, like yeah, and it is it is and it's in my kitchen. It's in my linen closet. It's in my actual medicine cabinet. Like the herbs, the plants are everywhere.
Mhm.
But like things, I feel like I got some staples, right? Like these are probably always on hand at my house. I guarantee or it's like anytime I go to my local apothecary, I'm always bringing this home, so it's always in supply. Yes, cinnamon for sure, cinnamon 100%, turmeric always. Always, I got turmeric almost, I feel like in almost every room in some form in my house where I can grab to use. Ashwagandha is another one that I absolutely enjoy. Cloves are always in my house. Cardamom, always in my house. Always, always. Always, what else? Those things are like always in my house, always.
Okay.
Always. And um yeah, those kinds of things are always in my cabinets per se.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to think of mine. sorry, so loud. I'm trying to think of mine. So ginger is definitely
Oh,
something that
yes. I didn't even you didn't even I was
I'm
like, oh
sorry,
yeah.
the root plant. Sorry,
No,
no, no, no. But like, okay, rosemary. Rosemary is something that like I didn't even know was so powerful. Like until I started really studying, and that's what we keep. We keep rosemary. We keep thyme. We keep
yep,
all of those.
yep.
It's I'm trying to think of like all of the
Got about
botanicals,
ginger.
all
I
of
always ginger.
yeah, like I feel like a lot of I think rosemary and thyme, like rosemary is definitely in my garden. Thyme, I um have that in my garden, and then like I've dried those out and things, and like yeah, those are always like I can't do nothing. I feel like I can't even do nothing without that. It's like I'm like if I ain't got no none of that, then like especially yeah, I have to
You
have
know that, yeah.
um but I feel like yeah, rosemary, thyme, I said ginger, and then I'm trying to think what else. Um yeah, any type of like um let's see. Yeah, like the peppercorns, the peppers and things like that. I feel like can also be very medicinal as well. But yeah, definitely like rosemary and thyme. I feel like those are the ones that I'm like I can't go nowhere without or I can't be no house
Yeah.
without that. And I feel like those are very powerful herbs that are slept on. Like actually, thyme and rosemary are herbs that can be burnt and used as cleansing herbs around the house too. And I think it's a reason why like our people would have those in their cabinets if nothing else. um so yeah, like how do you feel like you work with these plants now? Like, what do you feel like um is like the thing that maybe in your daily routine, or like how do you feel like you've incorporated some of these plants, not necessarily the ones that you've named, but like just like working with herbs and everything like now in your daily routine, and not even just to heal a sickness, because I feel like we think that herbs are always like just to heal something, or like it's always you have to do it in a in a to re like you have to do it in response to something, or like in response to an illness, but it's like actually things that we use every single day. So how do you feel like your daily use of plants and herbs is incorporated into your daily routine, I guess?
I'm not even kidding when I'm telling y'all my granny did made me into a tea person. So like it
Yeah.
is like that is one for sure way. And it's so mindless almost sometimes, like where it's like not, it's this is not in a response to anything. This is just what I do. Like I drink these herbs, like it's what I do. It's just what I do. um Another way is honestly like when we talk about like herbs and plants, like it's the obvious answer is also like I'm also a cook. Like I
Mhm.
can cook for real. Like
Mhm.
I'm a cook and I really feel like that, and I really feel like it is, and I cook with a lot of vegetables. I cook with a lot of um the same kinds of mind, like that same mindset of like it matters what you put into your body, and I don't just mean it in a negative way. So I feel like that is some of my daily, like how I incorporate it. Like I've become, there are days where I choose to eat like something because I got a taste for it, right? There are days that I eat what I eat because it's what's in the refrigerator, or like it's what I have. But a lot of days I think about how I want to feel, and then I that's how I decide what I want to eat. And that is like when I like that is me incorporating this like plant medicine, herbalism, all of that it's because of that I even have that thought. How do I need to feel?
Yeah.
Like literally, and I think about it. I do. It's not like a. I'm not gonna say I ask myself that question every single day, right? I don't, but I do some days go, okay, what do I got coming up? What's happening? Oh, my period is about to come, so I need to come heavy with the root vegetables. I need to come heavy with some stuff with some iron in it. I need to think about those things. Yes. Or oh, I'm gonna be moving around a lot. Okay, this is how I need to feel. I'll need an extra energy. So I'm gonna add this or I'm gonna eat this or something like that. So I think that's how it is how I incorporate it like just daily. It's just a part of my life and
Mm-hmm.
very basic little things like that. Like just what I'm about to eat today. It's like a basic everyday thing. You got to eat something.
Yes, I love that. Like, I love that question. How do I want to feel today? Like, and I think
Yeah.
I ask myself that question like subconsciously, maybe because I'm like, well, a lot of times it's like, what do I feel like eating today? Like, it's not like,
What do I
how do
feel like eating?
I, yeah,
How
how
do
do
you want to
I feel? So I guess,
tonight? How do you want to sleep tonight? How do
yeah,
you want to sleep? You need a good
yeah,
night's sleep. You need a light sleep because what you eat is gonna affect that. So
no,
how do you want to? What do you need to do?
no, for sure. Yes, 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 yes. I've definitely been thinking about that. I think definitely menstruation has been a part of a huge part of me like coming into herbalism and plant medicine and things like that as well. So like I definitely relate to like, because I don't I think that uh helps with understanding our bodies and like really just like being able to understand that there's a cycle, and like I said, it's not just like, oh, I'm on my period, let me do this right now, but it's like there's an entire cycle where you can help support you know every part of your cycle throughout, even before menstruation or even before whatever you feel like you might be tired or you might be having a long day. So like there are ways to like really implement those practices, because it is a practice. It's not just like, and I think
Yeah.
that's the difference between like the idea of Western medicine and more like holistic medicine is like
Oh,
the fact that westernized medicine is always reactionary. Not always, but like most of the time reactionary. It's like, what is it that's going to like numb the pain really quickly versus like more alternative holistic health is all about like, this is a practice, this is something that you do not just when this thing happens, but what you could do to prevent it from happening, and also what you can do to
yeah.
support your body um throughout yeah, the entirety of your life. And it's not just something in reaction to an illness or whatever. And so yeah, I feel like um cooking is definitely one of those things that I think we don't, because of this like go go go, we don't really take the time to be intentional about it sometimes. But that is a type of herbalism, and that is something that we can be really more intentional about, and trying to make sure that we are nourishing our bodies in a way that feels good, like you said. um so yeah. Who taught you how to cook?
Oh, who taught me how to cook?
Are you
A
self
little. I am not. Okay, yes and no. I feel like some things I definitely just been in the kitchen, like let me try it. But um, I definitely learned how to cook from my dad,
Okay.
um, my grandmother, from my great grandmother.
Mm.
And that's where my dad learned to cook from his grandmother,
Oh,
who was my great grandmother.
oh.
When I think about my whole family, we are some cooks. Like,
Okay.
people even know you come into our house, it don't matter who cooking, it's gonna be good,
Yeah.
right?
Hey.
But Like no, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. But I can vividly remember like knowing my great grandmother was the cook. Like she
Mm.
she had recipes. She used to write her recipes
Mhm.
um like everybody wanted her food. I can remember wanting to know my dad being like, Grandma made that, Grandma made that. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I remember her having a garden. I remember her canning and pickling her own pickles, picking
Mhm.
her own blueberries for the blueberry pancakes she made me, like
Mhm.
I remember those things from her. I remember like being on the fifth grade newspaper, and I had the cooking like article, and I used to call and get recipes from my great granny to put in my fifth grade school newspaper. Like to this day, I am trying to replicate a bean dip that she used to make. My whole family know it too. My sister be like, "You trying?" I'd be like, man, I wish he would have told me how to make this. Like, I'm going off of taste and memory and the things that she said on how she made it. So, um, I definitely learned how to cook from my family. My dad, my grandmother, my mom is a good cook too. Like, I can vividly remember learning from all of them, but also knowing like my great granny was the cook. Like, my granny taught me how to make like gravy from scratch. Like I learned how to cook I learned how to make mac and cheese from my granny. Like I remember being in the kitchen learning this is how you do this. This is what you do next. So um yeah, that's who taught me how to cook. And it's still a little rivalry now. My dad, he the dad, I get it, I learned from him, but sometimes the student does come up, and now,
Listen, listen,
now we having these
listen. You
moments where
paved you paved the way so I could do better. You know.
you know, and he be calling me want to know why some people prefer my something over his. I said, hey,
When life gives you lemons,
you
like
know,
I
that.
gave
I
me the
mean,
lemons. I just made the lemonade better. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
it's like that. Like yes, you passed it on, and that's what it's supposed to happen. Like yes. So
Right. Yeah. No, my actually it's funny because I feel like that sometimes like with just things that my mom will cook or whatever. Like I've always baked. Like that's been my thing. Like I've always actually my grandmother taught me how to cook and to bake. Well, she taught me how to cook that potato soup, where she was saying like everything with a root to help your gut. And that was like literally the first, probably one of the first meals that like I learned how to cook was a potato soup. And I spent a lot of time with her in her later years because we were just always over there. We stayed with her for a while, and then like she babysat us, but we were just looking after ourselves basically because
right,
she
right, 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 right,
we
right,
couldn't get
right.
around the house. And that's what we had to like cook our own stuff, like cook our own. So that was how we learned how to like be resourceful. And
Yeah.
um she had written down this recipe. It was like this sweet roll recipe she had like her rolls were so famous. And she wrote it down, but she wrote it down wrong. This was after she had had a stroke, and so it was all scribbly and everything. Like she barely
Yeah, yeah,
wrote
yeah,
on
yeah.
paper. And then like it was the recipe was wrong, so like we tried it, the way we was trying to like make it out, me and my dad, because it's my dad's mom. And so he was like, I think I remember she used to do this. And so like we was trying to like really like, because at this time she had already passed by the time we had tried it out. And so we literally tried it like 5 different times and we finally got it. And so I had to write the recipe down again. And so now my aunts and everybody asking for it
Yeah,
because like now we got it right. And yeah, it's just funny because I feel like she did kind of like pass that down to me, like just like subconsciously, maybe. I don't know, but like she literally like passed it down, and then like me and my dad trying again and again and again and figure it out. And then we
yeah,
finally got it. And to this day, my family is like, I need you to make the rolls. Like, I don't know how you do this. Like, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, yeah, so I
I
feel
I
that.
think I think legitimately one like a actual trait that I feel like I got from my great grandmother is the like need and desire to make something from scratch.
Mm,
Like we have a lot of cooks in our family that will whip up something, but my great grandmother was that like,
mm,
oh, you need pickles? Let me go down and see if my pickles are ready because I make my own pickles.
mm,
Kind of lady, you know what I mean? Like, and I it's so bad. I'm telling you, it's truly some of my favorite things to do is like, let's see if I can make that from start to finish. I'm making that from scratch. Let me
mm.
see if I'm making I want to make everything.
Yeah,
All
I
of
be
it.
seeing you on TikTok. You be making your own bread, your own.
Yes, I'm making my own bread, sourdough loading. Like I want to make everything. Excuse me. I just told my mom, it was Taco Tuesday, and I said, y'all, look, I made my own tortilla chips,
Yes,
you know. And my mom was like, you just be doing stuff. I'm like, no, I just be like, let me see if I can make it. Like,
yes,
I don't know. There is like a part of me is also like there is so much freedom in that.
yes.
That's a resource. That's a skill. Like I
Mm,
made my own tortilla shells. Like okay, I got this stuff in my house.
mm.
I can make this.
Yeah,
Yes, it's super convenient. I can go buy this, but like, what if I didn't have anything? This is all I got. I can make this myself. I can do it. It's gonna take me a little bit of more time, but that's okay. Like I can make it, like
yeah,
yeah, I can make my own bread. Who's
yes.
running out of bread? Because I can make my own, like it's okay.
Yeah, and it's just like it really is an alchemy. It really is like I feel like for me anyway, it's like it's very like life-giving and just like healing and like all of the things because it really is like that's why this podcast and the apothecary is called Grandma's Hands because you really are like using your hands in a very spiritual way, and I feel like that is part of the magic and being able to like see what your hands can do and like what God's creation can do and just like seeing like I don't know this summer I because my grandmother also she don't waste nothing too. Like in another podcast, I talked with my friend about like eco village living and just um like being able to do things in a environmentally friendly way. And we talked about like our grandmothers and how we just don't waste nothing. Like we use up everything. My grandmother, she'll take the bud of whatever vegetable, make sure she plants that, throw the seeds outside and like whatever.
You know why?
Yeah.
Like I obviously I don't know your grandmother, but what I'm hearing is like yes, like that. This is, and I don't know how this. I don't know. Like I hope people are hearing what I'm saying and not just hearing what I'm saying, right?
Mhm.
Do you know like the 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 food, the nurturing agriculture, that's the feminine, right?
Mm,
And it's not the like women got to be at home cooking for everybody.
mm,
That's not what I'm saying. I'm
mm,
saying it's a reason why it's your grandmother's hands apothecary. It's a
mm,
reason why your grandmother hands was doing the nurturing of her family by
mm,
like literally dealing with the things we always think about nurturing sometimes in our like in a mental capacity like
mm,
oh she's so nurturing, she gave me love. No, your mama was nurturing because she fed you
mm,
literally. She
mm,
nourished you like
mm,
quite literally, right?
mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's such a like I love that it's your grandmother, right?
Yeah.
That was doing those things, and those are the feminine things in our society, not
Yeah.
just like I don't want it to be like a debate thing kind of thing.
Gender and all of
I'm
that.
just
Yeah, we know,
yeah,
and it's
like,
energy.
it's
Yeah.
yes, like that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, that is. and that is why it's important too, right? That is
Yeah.
why it's not like one versus the other, y'all, bro. We need it all. And because some things are, it's not like, oh, this is the feminine because I'm pretty in a pretty dress. No, this
Mm-hmm.
is the feminine because I'm cooking, and
Yeah.
not because I'm cooking for like because I have to, but no, literally, my
Yeah.
hands are nurturing the energy that I have,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. And
is feminine and is nurturing in
yeah.
every way, especially in nurturing the land. Literally,
Mhm.
like you think of we. Well, let me not say that, but a lot of times people are like, you think of a farmer, you think of like a guy that's a farmer.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
it really was and is the women that are nurturing the land,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
gardens with the gardens,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know.
And I just learned that my grandfather was the one that started, on my dad's side was the one that started his garden, or the garden in my grandmother's land. And it surprised me because I was like, my grandma, I remember grandma, like she always would, grow food and stuff like that. But I had learned from a cousin that, it was actually my grandfather. And I think that there was a reason why that was something that brought him peace, is because he was tapping into his feminine and being able to like really balance himself, because
Yes,
he was very stoic, and like he
yes,
presented as very tough and masculine, and like he was in the military, and so like it was just, I felt
yes.
as though like just being with in gardening and being with the land was like something that gave him, was he was able to tap into his feminine in that way too. And
And
yeah.
balance himself, ground himself. You
Yeah.
need you right. Like I love that. Like I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah, and it
it
surprised me. It took me back because I was like, really? Like, Grandpa Baker, like Grandpa Lewis Baker was out there, and I know he was doing like the tent, like the tilling the land and cutting the grass.
yeah. No,
But
but
like, he
still,
was, growing things and watching them come up, and like, and I heard that my grandma, she was the one, she was the one that prepared, like that used the vegetables and the, and all of that, and used the blackberries to make blackberry cobbler and stuff like that. But he was the one that actually grew the food, and that was like really touching, because I'm like, wow, he was known as so like masculine and so like tough and yada yada yada, but maybe that was something that allowed him to really tap into his feminine side.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But yeah, I hear you on like starting things from scratch. Like my grandmother on my mom's side, like she will can anything, child. Like you said, like she'll pickle them cucumbers. Like she'll, make the can and make preserves. And that's something that I did this summer, was made some strawberry preserves. And so it really is like you said, with the hands, and just like being able to really see what our hands can do is just like, it's so magical. It really is so magical.
It really is so magical. I love that. Yes, so magical.
Well, I'm gonna end on this question. So, how do you feel like, speaking of like hands and just like, how we use our hands, how do you feel like you are able to actually serve in like, using what has been passed down to you? Like, what do you feel like you're taking with you out into, just the world, and just like as you are in service of the people, not in a a martyr type of way, but in a way that feels good to you, I guess.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you. And I again, it's so funny that we get to do this today, but because just earlier today, I was telling somebody how I went through a time where I would used to explain something like, I feel like my hands are charged.
Mm,
Like there are times where I literally feel like my hands are charged, in that the stuff that I can make is like it's special because my hands made it. And I don't
mm,
like want to sound like, oh, I just shoot magic out of my hands. because it's more, because I honestly feel like it's deeper than that, right? So like when you asking me like how, you asked kind of a lot in that last question too though. But like how, like
That question, but loaded. Like,
yes, yes, loaded, but just I'm on that, like how do I use my hands like in service this way? And it's coming back, I'm coming back to cooking is one of the ways, right? That's the first way. When I tell you, I legitimately think people love my food because I cook with love. Like I'm telling you, like nobody can tell me anything different. I don't care what anybody say. I know people love my food because my hands are cooking with love. Like we are putting intention into this food. And I'm telling you, I know that's, I mean, the food is good, don't get me wrong. But why, when people like, what's so special about this? When people be like, this is so good, would you put in? I'm like, salt and pepper. Like it's actually nothing special in, like no special ingredient, like food ingredient. Oh, the secret ingredient is literally hands filled with love, right? With intention, like wanting this food to really nourish you, you know. Um is a way, is like is one way. You know that I also do like my massage, woman massage. Again, it's still back to, it's my hands that are doing this kind of work too, where I'm like, no, my hands are charged in my woman fertility massage, helping women move things through their body and out of their body, in spaces where we tend to hold and hide stuff at, thinking of our hips and abdomen, low back, glutes and things like that, you know. It's just there, just those kinds of ways. But the thing that like I feel like it's my, I don't know how to describe it, like as my favorite way, or even as the thing that I'm like, out of everything that I do, this is what, whenever I have a daughter, this is what I want her to say. This is what I want my grandchildren to say about me one day, my grandmother, XYZ or whatever, you know? Um, it is more so like, wow, our grandmother, or I want them to say my grandmother, whatever, taught me that, like, yes, while my hands are charged or my hands can do these nurturings, like the most important thing is that I'm using it on myself first, right? Like, and that is the thing that is like, it's it's also important work because it's an example. Like, I don't know if I'm making sense. Like it's an example. I just think about
Yeah, it's a
some
model.
of the,
Like it's
it's a model, it's an example to show people like,
Mhm.
no, it's a way of life and it works well, right? There's a reason there. Yes, you're right. Like there is a reason why we do these things. There is a reason why, yes, I'm taking a minute to have a cup of tea, right? You're gonna, I, even as a kid, I'm 32 years old, and like, I mean, I'm having that well, I can't talk right now either, revelation about my grandmother and her cup of tea when I was just 30, right? But my granny been drinking tea for 30 plus years. I've been seeing her do it my whole life, and it just clicked. And so that is like, that I would rather that be my impact than anything, like than anything else. Like for that would be my work. Like that is the work. That is awesome. That is the work for me. That's the whole point of the work for me. So that, well, I don't know, 30, 40 years from now, the the person that came from me, or that came from the person that came from me, is able to sit back and think, oh yeah, that's why we do this. That's right. Oh, that's why. That is how I heal myself. That is how I take care of myself. Like that's the work I really want to last. Yes, all the work that I do, with my womb massage, all the ways that I share and things like that. It's very important to me too, and I do hope it has like a lasting impact or whatever. But more importantly, I'm telling you, I want it to be like I want this conversation to happen 30, 40 years from now with our kids and grandkids. Like, oh yeah, that is why. That's why, yes, and they believe it and they know it because they've seen it and they can think back and remember they've seen it, so
Yes.
it's,
Yeah.
it's like I literally think about that so much. I think about some days I think like, Tiana, I'm not even a mom yet, and I'm like, and even I surely like, people be like, I can't wait to be a mom. I'm like, no, y'all, I can't wait to be a granny. I literally cannot wait to be a
Yeah.
granny. Cannot wait because I want these conversations to be had about the kind of granny, the kind of grandmother that I was, because because it is shaping, right? It is shaping, it is life changing. Like my granny way of life is totally shaping the way that I live right now because of the way that she lived. I live this way now. And like I literally can't wait for my granddaughter.
Yeah.
I hope, and I shouldn't say I can't wait. All I can say is I hope that that is the kind of life I live, so that that's what she can say. Like that is the work I am trying to do, trying to live in such a way that in 30, 40 years, my granddaughter or my daughter could understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's it, and I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yes.
For
Yes.
her, yeah,
And it's
yeah,
so simple. Like, I think we think about service as like this very like this big worldwide thing, but really it's just like, you know, being who we are and, like you said, healing ourselves and going inward and really like sitting with who we are and passing that down to whoever, whether it's like biological children or just like a generation of children that like we being aunties to, or we being,
right, right.
um that we're surrounded by, like we're passing that on. And that is lineage, like that is um how we create a lineage, a strong lineage. And I love that. And that's perfect because that's exactly what this podcast and this apothecary is about. Like, it's not about going outside like to this fancy class or whatever, and doing it that way. But what did we learn from our grandparents? What did we learn from our aunts, our uncles, and things like that? So thank you so much for
Thank you
for
for having me.
being here. And thank you so much for taking out the time to talk to me.
Yes.
Stop the recording now.